What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of scaling an offer to $1 million a month in real time. And this was a video I don't know if I was going to make because I thought, hey, it wasn't entertaining enough. It's very boring. It's a very boring topic, but it makes you a lot of money and saves you a lot of time. So whether you're at 100K a month, 200, 300, wherever you're at, or even below, you have to understand whatever has gotten you to where you are will not let you get to the next level. So the thing is, everybody talks about offer content, ads, sales. There's so much sales content, but nobody ever talks about what the actual back-end processes have to look like for you to be able to scale a big operation, right? And it's the internal engine that actually is going to allow you to consistently scale up within a system. And we had to rip ours fully apart, and that's exactly what we're going to dive into in this video. So stick along, guys. This past month we're gonna get another video. We're gonna wrap up over 600K, so we only have a 400K delta to cover till we're at $1 million a month. So let's dive right into this video. All right, guys, let's dive right into this. So we're gonna be going all over ripping apart old systems, and it's something we had to do, which took a while because we've been using the same exact systems for like over a year, and we learned the hard way that these systems would not get us to where we needed to be. So here's an example, and if you know me, I talk about this a lot. You got skyscrapers versus a house. Now, I'm a firm believer that I think anybody could build a house if they learned how to build a house, get the right people, learn plumbing. I mean, probably would take some time, but I believe building a house is significantly less complicated compared to building a skyscraper. And if you're trying to get to $1 million a month, which what we're doing with this offer, you're gonna have to tear apart a bunch of shit so you can hit that mark. So if you look at this house, you can see it's on 3 beams. And that's kind of where we were at with our processes, our systems, our onboarding process especially. It couldn't support scale. And I use this number term here, but this really varies depending on your ticket size, because you could be selling a 25K package and get to even higher numbers with these small support beams. But if you're trying to really get to those big numbers, you have to really rebuild that whole foundation, that whole base, right? So I'll explain why, right? Because on this house, it might just be you running the team. You could have a sales manager, but their workload is very less. There might be a small amount of reps. Problems could get solved a little bit easier. One-on-ones could be done with the small team, and everything is fine. It gets to a point, though, where as one person, as one sales manager, one offer, these beams will then collapse with a skyscraper skyscraper build on top of it. So we had to remake everything so we could get to the next level. And I'm gonna dive into some examples here in a second. So here's some outcomes we got from this. Saving your sales manager's time. If you're the sales manager, you're gonna save yourself a lot of time. You're gonna create less repeat questions asked by your team. You're going to speed up that ramp up time, allowing you to scale quicker, bringing people in, firing people, bringing people in, ramp, cut the fat, hire people, cut the fat. And less management headaches, which become very big as you're scaling a team up. Okay, so what sparked this? Well, it got to the point where I genuinely couldn't even live. As in, I would wake up and I was like the glue between our team and essentially all of our processes and systems, questions, this, that, and the third. And this was all due to me, my own fault, because I would choose to just answer the questions rather than systemizing every single process and question that ever came up. And what would happen is we would get repeat questions, repeat issues, repeat problems, and the only way to solve it was my time, or our sales manager's time being traded off. So this was fine with a smaller team, smaller numbers, smaller spend, because it was manageable. we only change when things become unmanageable, right? Sorry, I was just getting a call right there. We only change when things become unmanageable. So these things were just not made for scale. So from questions to data to reporting, everything was just not up to par. And to add to this, I remember one day one of our sales managers came to me and he was having a hard time. And essentially what was going on was I was trying to diagnose the problem. So I said, is it that the reps that we have right now are just not the right reps, or is it something else? And he said it was something else. So I asked him what. He's like, dude, I'm just being bombarded with the same things over and over again. People can't find where documents and SOPs are located, this, that, and the third. And I went into our current system on like how we ramp reps up, the material they see, and it was rightfully very hard to navigate. It was a mess. As we were kind of scaling out, we had different like VAs become part of our process. So if we needed to update something, we would just tell them, hey, add this here, add this there. And like we weren't auditing it ourselves. So I wanted to solve this problem. So I said, how could I help my sales manager on this offer? So number one, I was like, all these questions, all these repeat things, let's shrink them down. Let's systemize it. Let's make it an easy way where all the questions could be answered in one central location, which some were before, but new questions come up, new things come up, and they weren't being updated. Number two, it was a freaking mess to use this. And we were using Notion before, and it worked on our first, it worked for a while, but at scale, we weren't able to use the system. It was too messy, and it just was not optimal at all. So we decided to scrap that whole platform we used for all of our documents, SOPs for our team, and we moved to a whole different platform called Trainual, not sponsored. And over there, it gave us a few benefits. Number one, we were able to essentially gatekeep certain content. So instead of everybody seeing everything, we were able to really segment things off. I know Notion has a certain level to do this, but it just wasn't our thing. And the way the content is consumed is now made in a process where if you want to get to the second part of the material you're consuming, you have to consume the first part. Meaning, if a rep's onboarded, like they genuinely have to go through everything to complete everything. And we could see that they've done it. So we were able to do that. What did that do? It bought my sales manager's time. Number two, what else was going on? He said he was trading a lot of his time off to train the reps up. And our onboarding process before, we would have all-star reps, right? And as you scale, like you really realize you can't always snipe the best talent. Like, yes, you're going to have some key players, but you're going to need to have a process to really develop talent and turn them into something good. If you don't have that, scaling is going to become really, really tough. So I really started to audit, like, how were our sales managers training reps? And training was a pure, like, trade-off of time. And it was very, like, hypocritical because we sell info and we teach people things and we give them like a coaching call, 2 coaching calls a week. So I was like, why don't we do the same thing with our sales reps and our onboarding process? Why don't we make all the information, everything that a sales rep is going to need, whether it's this certain objection, this certain call recording, we strategically build it so when a rep joins and they consume all this, they enter with a certain baseline of knowledge. Meaning back then, if a sales rep was here and they needed to be here, sales manager had to do all this heavy lifting. But a lot of that was solved, so they start here and then we'd have to just cover this gap. As in, we're taking past recordings, we're taking past trainings, we're taking certain call recordings and really documenting them and breaking them down. So now when someone onboards, they got to go through that on their own versus a sales manager having to go through all these little small things on their own. And it sounds very like small saying it out loud now, but updating these processes and systems, it gets neglected. So what did that allow us to do? Well, it bought back sales manager's time and made his life easier. Sales rep, it bought their time back because they don't have to ask questions all the time. Everything is centralized. I mean, they're still gonna ask questions, but everything is centralized. And I got my time back because I wasn't being looped into all these different things. So this is just one example. We destroyed our old training hub for our teams, and we rebuilt a brand new one because the old one just was not built for scale. And you're going to notice these patterns in your business. For info, certain systems, certain processes you have are just not meant for scale. And it's important to understand that and catch them early on. So number one, you could either start now and not be lazy and push these things aside and start building this foundation that's going to allow you to support a very, very big team. Or you can learn the hard way and have your systems rip you apart instead of ripping the systems apart. So guys, this is episode 3. If you have questions on this, just DM me. There's so many different little nuanced things that were changed. But you have to be auditing your current systems all the time and updating and deleting anything that should not be there. And have some sort of process in place, whether it's a bi-weekly thing, a monthly thing, where you go in and really see what you have set up and deleting and adding things in. So guys, this is episode 3. I got episode 4 coming in. It's going to be a recap of this past month. A lot has been learned this past month. We have increased our sales this month. However, things have definitely changed. So yeah, I'll see you guys in episode 4, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we're going to keep the series going. Let's go.